Oh. Hey guys. Didn't see you there. So this is the... We talked about this right before we started recording. It's like, it's so cheesy when people do that.
How cheesy can we make it?
It's almost like it was scripted. Oh wait, the teleprompter's right. Oh yeah, it's almost like it was scripted. So, welcome to Coffee Out. Oh, that's the wrong episode too. What are we doing? Oh right, the next in our series of household memories. That's it. That's what we'll call it. We didn't know what to call this thing. We'll just call it household memories. Anyway, welcome to the kitchen.
You gotta shake it first. Probably running out.
Ooh. That looks like Play-Doh when like it's not extruding well. It's in your hair now. All right, anyway. Welcome to the kitchen. You guys have been here before. We've been here before.
Long time.
This is one of the central hubs in our house. We are in here.
This is our community
constantly.
space.
When we are with friends, we're in here more than we are in the living room. Heck, even outside. Like this is just like our gathering area.
You think like you'd want to hang out in the comfortable living room, but that's kind of where like, you know, you bring kids over, just go in there.
Yep.
This is nice because just a big open space, which is also bad because it's where we collect everything.
Yep.
I collect everything. Kids collect everything.
I hate it.
It's just a good spot to be. So like we had bar stools here, so people would sit there. We had a stool down here at the end. We'd be making our coffee, making dinner, doing whatever, and people just kind of hang out there, hang out at the table. And it's just a nice spot to talk. And it does happen more here than anywhere else.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's very loud in here.
Yes.
And Brandon's office is right back there. So he hears everything.
Everything.
Also probably one of the #1 reasons why we're moving. So he can be in his dungeon downstairs and not hear anything. And we can scream and do everything we want with the kids and he won't hear a single thing.
We'll have an intercom system if we need to talk between, although actually it would be recommended not to use that if I'm working. Oh, I can mute it. I can mute people.
So when we first moved here, we loved the kitchen because we loved the cabinets, we love the space. We are always in each other's way when we're in the kitchen. We still are.
And will be. That's never gonna change. Oh, so we have 2 separate kitchens. Which
for when people would come over, they'd never been to our house, they always say, I love your kitchen. We knew it was a selling point. I mean, we do have lots of cabinets. We have lots of space this way. It's a lot of space. There's space over there. The black cabinets look modern and nice, but I have grown to hate them so much. While they look nice, they're painted cabinets, and I hate painted cabinets because I've had to touch them up, and most recently painted them all so they look fresh again. Black it probably is just as bad as white with keeping clean and looking nice, because if there's paint chip, you see it.
It's not the color, it's the fact that it's flat.
The fact that it's
a
painted.
single
If it was
flat
stained
color.
or something, or sealed correctly, it'd be great. So I am not sad to see these leaving at all.
We'll have maple, I think is what the...
I don't know, anything's better
Or a
than
light
what we
oak
have.
or something.
But everyone seems to love them, but not when you live here and deal with them. I don't like
They
them.
do look nice when they're clean and nothing has touched them.
Yeah.
But practically, they are a pain.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is because we're in the kitchen so much.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of surprises me. We know a handful of people, well, I know a handful of people that don't cook a lot. They're not in their kitchen a lot, or they don't do a lot in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's easy to make your room look good when you're not using it.
Mm-hmm. Where
Where we're in here constantly. Like, it probably is the most used room in the house.
Oh, for sure.
So, anyway, memories. That's the purpose of this series. We're gonna talk about memories here. And if you don't have one, I have one right off the bat.
The squeaky counter.
Humidity. That's squeakier than normal. So, we'll cut to a shot over here in a minute, but we have still the faintest if you get the right angle,
Grooves.
you can
Indents.
see grooves and blue. Ever so slight blue tint. And there was a night where we had just gotten back, I believe, from El Rancho. So we went out for some
See, I don't
Mexican
remember
food.
those details even.
I could probably find the actual pictures from El Rancho for the night that the grooves happened.
Wow.
So we went to El Rancho. Let's see, who was there? I think it was us, Lucero's, the Hans, I think the Baileys, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
So we all went to El Rancho. We had margaritas and cervezas. And we came back here for like the after party. And I think we had music and stuff going and stuff. And it was Jen, if I remember right, Jen had just gotten a brand new pair of jeans. I think she said she wore them once or twice. So
And
they'd never been washed.
They had those buttons on the back that stick out,
Yeah.
you know, like the snaps or the actual buttons that stick out. I don't remember what was going on.
I don't know
over
why
there.
it happened, but she was dancing or something and like she was against the wall. It sounds terrible, like when you explain it. It's not as bad as it sounds. Like she was dancing and like, because we have a small little passage here, so you have to like get out of the way. I don't know if we noticed it that night or the next day, but there were blue streaks across the wall and grooves from those buttons.
Mm-hmm. It looks like little termite grooves,
It does.
actually.
Like when you pick a stick up
Yeah.
from outside,
It's
you get the
etched
little
like that.
etchings.
So she must have been like, I'm
Really
pretty sure she
getting it.
was up and down doing this thing.
Yeah.
And that's why it's there. So that's been with us probably a year or two.
Like we were here maybe a year.
Yeah. So
and they're still there.
we have never painted in here. And
One
we
room we didn't
hate
really
the
touch.
color. Hate it. We've talked about it a lot, but we're like, we have little kids that are touching stuff and making things gross. Like there's no point in painting it yet until like they're not so gross.
Mm-hmm.
Plus we don't want to cover over Jen's grooves. Just kidding.
Their memories there.
So I'm glad we decided not to paint because we considered that before our listing, which would have not been fun to do. It would have been awful. We hate painting and that's a lot of space to cover.
We're pretty good at it, but we don't like to do it.
Yeah, it was just, so luckily it wasn't, you know, that's not like a selling point or whatever, because
And honestly, like we knew whatever buyer was going to come in here, they're going to do their own thing.
Yeah.
They're going to want to change colors and stuff like that. Which we got to talk to our buyer and she plans on doing that exact thing. So
that would have just been a waste of time and money for us.
time, money, and it wouldn't have changed the resale value.
Yeah.
Most people walk into a house looking for paint to change.
Yep.
It's the easiest thing you can do to make it your own. So unless there is like repair work that you did and you need to blend it, that is acceptable for that. But what else? Well, I mean, most of the memories I can think of are like going to be food related things we've done here.
Just lots of activity here, lots
Oh,
of,
I know
lots
what
of
we can
noise.
talk about. So one thing that we did here, which we will definitely do again post-COVID, when we were at the new house, we used to host a community group
Yeah.
for church. So we had a community group. We called it Breaking Bread. I think we did it. I say we did it 3 times.
2 or 3.
Yeah, I think we did it 3 times. So we would have, it was a couples group. We'd have, I think, 10 total, including us. So it was us plus like 4 other couples. And we would use this area as basically an opportunity for fellowship, of course, it's a community group. But we would use it as an opportunity to kind of learn a new recipe or something, which ended up being kind of me teaching people like culinary skills. But
everyone took their part in chopping this or cooking this, and
Yep.
we all kind of just made our meal together.
which was nice.
And we sat down and we broke bread.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. People still talk about it. They loved it.
Yep, it had a 5 out of 5 review on Google Reviews. I mean, people still think this is a real restaurant. Well, so that's not technically a story about this, but those of you that follow me, especially on Instagram, I post food pictures a lot. And one of her friends just thought, because of that we ran a catering business. Like, I thought that's just what you did. I thought you catered.
Cafe Martinez.
Cafe
like
Martinez.
a real thing.
Yeah, because I would always like tag it at Cafe Martinez, which is here. And so they legit thought that we did catering, which is flattering, if anything. We don't. Unless you pay us enough, then maybe. In which case we'll probably hire it out.
Yeah. So we're not losing a space like this when we move. It's gonna still be fairly open to everything. It's actually gonna be more open to our living area than what we have now. The living room is, we have a wall here, which at one time we talked about, you know,
Also taking that out.
taking the wall out because we just like the big open spaces. That's just how we just have friends over and we do stuff. We like to just be big and in the open with everybody.
Which will be nice with the new place because the overall cooking area is probably going to be tighter. Like, because there's an island now instead of like this big open like L concept.
Yeah.
So that might be a little tighter, but the benefit is that beyond, so basically where you're standing right now, like that area is much bigger because there's going to be, they actually have 2 dining room tables in there right now. We're gonna turn one into a cafe, it sounds like. So more like Starbucksy kind of vibe.
That's the plan anyways, because I was like, you know, you see someone else's pictures, you kind of follow along with what they have. I'm like, we don't need to have another table just because
they do,
and it's another dining room. Like I right away vision like couple like cozy chairs here, little coffee bar, just like a dedicated coffee area, which I've always loved because we have our coffee area right there.
Would you have seen?
Which has been great, just small. And it's still part of the kitchen and it works, but like this will just have a whole different feel for having people over for coffee, which we love doing.
Yep. So you guys will see that when we do the walkthrough with whenever we get there. Which, man, I wonder when this will air. Like,
I got ideas. I got ideas for that. So.
It is possible, because I think this is like the 3rd video we've recorded. I don't know if I'm gonna post them in order, but it is possible that we're in the moving process when this goes live.
Hopefully.
We'll see. If not, soon, like super soon.
Yeah.
So I hope, pray it happens. Especially if it hasn't happened by the time you see this. So, all right. So that's the kitchen. Lots of memories here. This is actually gonna be one of the saddest rooms, I think, to leave. But thankfully we have a good place to go to.
Yeah,
to continue the legacy.
We're exchanging a good thing for a better thing.
Right.
Really, we're not like.
So the legacy will continue.
Yeah, it'll still be our big community area. I just know it will. It's how we are. That's just how we entertain.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Coming up next, dining room. So join us next week.